Hi, my name's Lot, and I used to be really fucking fat, but I'm not really that fat anymore. Hello, kittens. I know I said that I wanted to try and not cover Anna as frequently as possible because, to be quite frank, like, it's the same shit every week, is it not? It's the same shit day in, day out. She's got a cycle, just like most of the girls. They've got cycles, and quite frankly, I'm just not in the business of watching repeats. Do you know what I mean? However, Beltgate reinstated my love for Gorewald Anna edition. That being said, I won't be talking about Beltgate in this video because it has been done to absolute fucking death. Like, I there's nothing left to say. However, a few of my content creator friends have already covered it, got great videos, way more in depth than I would be interested in making. Purely because I like to hee ha ha rather than here's the serious. So I will link below a couple of videos that I like from a couple of my friends, specifically Honey Bison did a great video on it, had me cracking up laughing, and Shakara Transformations also did a great video on it as well, so I'll link her video about Beltgate as well down below. What I'll be doing today is just doing a general Princess Viking Lifts, whatever her fucking name is on Instagram, catch up, because the people over on the bad forum are amazing at keeping every fucking thing archived, and I was having a look earlier and I was like, yeah, there's some funny stuff here. I need to speak about this, or at least laugh at it with my friends over at the Lot Lifts YouTube channel. Next thing I wanted to say, just a bit of housekeeping. I'm not going to cover the podcast that she did with Elle Mace. So she did a podcast, went on a podcast called More to Life, and it's with this Elle Mace. And the description for this podcast is a self-development / mental health podcast with a combination of solo episodes and hearing real-life experiences and tips from a variety of professionals and personalities sharing vulnerable experiences and that moment in their life when they realise there is more to life than how they felt then. I don't really know who this Elle Mace person is. I don't particularly care. However, my friend Shakara Transformations covered the entire podcast over on her channel, so I'll link those videos down below as well because she did a two-parter. I'm not going through it. She is a stronger woman than I, figuratively and in actuality, because I don't know how she did it. I barely could listen to it with her narrating and reacting to it. It's insufferable. However, what I will say is Anna said something really, really interesting in this podcast that I just wanted to touch on. So I have one thought that I did want to put out into my channel. I'll try and get the clip and I'll insert it after I've done my little ramble here. This Elle Mace and GlitterandLazers start talking about how the mind and the body are connected and mental health is being treated instead of physical health. Like, psychiatrists are very happy to medicate depression, anxiety through medication, but oftentimes there's something health-wise going on physically that's causing those symptoms.
And then some of those people who lose all that weight are so troubled mentally still. You hear a lot about body dysmorphia in the weight loss world.
Yeah.
And feeling completely disconnected from their body. And it's okay. What if we started connecting people to their bodies? And as they changed, there wouldn't be this like, holy crap, I don't know this thing that I live in. I used to say that like a body is just a container. No, that is such a depressing way. Yes, your spirit and emotional side is one thing, but like I look at my body and it's changed a bit. And I feel like I have been able to stay connected and honestly grateful to my body through the whole process. But because of that, I look back at where I was before I had my lipedema removal surgeries and before I was able to be active again. And I look at what I did and I'm like, man, my body kept showing up for me every day when it was super hard. Yeah. And I look at that and I say, I'm just trying to make it easier for my body.
And I found that very interesting because they really both drove home the fact that the mind and body are connected and it's not acknowledged in the medical world. And I agree, right? I will say, in my personal experience of both mental health treatment and in like physical ailment treatments, there are things that I struggled with up here that were fixed by doing things that helped me. So when I was fat, I was dead depressed. I've been on like multiple antidepressants when I was obese, right? Do you know what I'm not anymore? I'm not generally day-to-day depressed anymore. It's so weird, like when you get to a healthy BMI and move your body regularly, if not daily, you suddenly don't want to die every single day anymore. So they really drove home the fact that mind and body connected, and why are we looking at them separately? Like the mental health and physical health can all be connected. Anna, you're the one that crashed out in your fucking car saying about how your body gave up on you when you tried to pick up that assless stone a few weeks ago. I thought the mind and the body were connected, Anna. I thought up here and all here was the same thing. Is it just when it fits your narrative? A mind-body connection only relevant when you can use it to doctor shop? Anyway, that was my quick little thoughts and feelings on that in particular. But other than that, I have gathered from the pastures some stories of Anna's, some posts of Anna's from her Viking Princess Lifts, whatever the fucking Instagram account's called. Cringe as fuck. And we're just going to look at them together and have a giggle together. And I will say again, I have got absolutely no interest in looking at her main channel, like her main channel stuff, her main Instagram stuff, anything to do with like her photo shoots or fashion or makeup or anything like that. I just simply don't care. Not because it's Anna, but in general, that doesn't interest me. If you care about that and you find it entertaining, fine, happy days. But I just don't find that interesting. So we won't do that over here. Because I saw there was a bit of confusion in the comments about how I wouldn't be touching Anna ever again. No, I just don't want to touch her main stuff about fashion and shit. I just don't care. We're just going to do a little update. I've got 22 stories. If you're not watching the screen, it says, POV, you're training strongman and 80% of your workout is just standing around, looking at your phone. Looking at your phone. Real keeping that mind-body connection alive there, Anna. What I do agree. It is a joke. It's a joke amongst the gym community that weightlifting sports, there is a lot of sitting around and waiting around. Well, yeah, because of rest periods, right? However, when I'm in between lifts, especially bigger lifts or heavier lifts or lower volume heavier lifts, I don't touch my phone. I try, because I'm a sufferer of mind wandering, right? And that fucks my lifts up. It does, simply put, it fucks my lifts up. So I have to really stay locked the fuck, and I put my phone on do not disturb. In fact, a lot of the time, whoever I'm talking to at the time or what I'm doing at the time, I have to say, like, I'm in the gym, I'm locking in, talk to you later, because my brain wanders, and then when I go to do the next lift, I can fail it because my brain's just not in it anymore. So absolutely, we are resting between lifts because that's what we should do. But like, you gotta stay in the moment, in the mindset. You gotta think like an athlete. It's Anna and her coach, and she's doing a deadlift, and her coach has a band against the wrapped around the bar and is pulling it taut, and while Anna lifts, right? And Anna has said, I unlocked something game-changing in my deadlift today. It's funny, lots of people give me advice on my lifting page based on what works for them. However, as I work on improving, I learned that the perfect form is A, never fully achieved, and B, different based on your individual body. Just another great example of how health is very personal, and what works for you may not work for someone else. What the fuck has lifting technique got to do with health? Are you fucking daft? I got a few things I want to say about this one, right? First of all, my hypothesis of this band talk the coach is doing here. I have a feeling this is to help her bar path. I have a feeling she's not keeping the bar close enough to her body. And what is showing her that she's not doing that is by keeping the bar, pulling the bar taut towards the coach with the band, is showing her that she needs to apply pressure towards herself to lift the bar against herself and keep a straight bar path, right? That's my hypothesis of why he's doing that, right? I could be wrong, but that's my hypothesis. I've had similar things done to me before because my bar paths in the past have been a bit funky, and this leads me into my second point about how technique is different based on your individual body. Absolutely, right? 100%, right? As we all know, I'm an Olympic weightlifter, and if you just follow me anywhere else, especially on my Instagram, you will see I fail snatches all the fucking time, right? And it's because I'm a weird body proportion, right? So everyone asks me all the time, Lot, that's great that you lost that much weight. How tall are you? I'm 5'6". I know I don't give that energy, but I'm 5'6", right? Which is like 163 centimeters for my European friends, right? That's a pretty okay height, pretty average height, if not slightly above average in the UK by a couple of inches, right? However, I have really, really long legs and a short torso, which actually is not a good proportion to be a weightlifter, right? Well, an Olympic weightlifter. You're better being short and equal. So with the snatch, I struggle because I struggle to keep my chest over the bar for the pull aspect of the snatch because my legs are too long. My body wants to come upwards upwards and stand up straight because of balance, right? So I've worked with my coach now for the better part of 18 months, but really it really showed itself to be an issue back in February when I competed last, right? Because I failed snatches. I absolutely have more than enough strength to do. It's just all technique based, right? So I've been working with my coach since February to correct these things, changing feet placement, changing chest placement, changing hand placement, trial and error over and over again. I think we're finally now on a trajectory where we're finding where I need to be, right? And that took time and effort, and it took doing silly things like this, like we're seeing in this video here, to find that, right? Absolutely. And I get people saying, your feet are too far apart, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, I understand that, but I pay someone, I pay someone money, and it's not cheap to do this with me, However, I've not been Olympic weightlifting for 2 months and tell people how to do lifts. I don't even now tell people how to lift, right? Because I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach. I'm not a PT. When you're a super morbidly obese woman telling people how to do lifts, and then you get all-ass funny about people telling you how to lift. Do you see where I'm going with this? Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, that one. Let's go to the next video.
Just finished working out. And because my life is so crazy right now, I literally have to eat in the car. And so I just eat a protein bar in the car most days for lunch. These are the junkless ones. They're really good.
So the caption over the top of this says, work and training to my schedule has required some compromises. I'm still learning to make it all work. Lunch in the car has become a new normal for me. An influencer saying her schedule is so packed she has to eat lunch in a car. So if you just don't know, or it's your first time meeting me, I'm an analytical chemist and I work a 9 to 5. I also have started doing YouTube recently. I've been here for about 2 months now, really enjoying it. I also train multiple days a week. I also have 2 rescue dogs with 2 different kinds of needs. I also pole dance, and I'm also a snowboarder. So I've got all these different hobbies, which obviously are self-inflicted. Like, I'm sitting here going, oh, my schedule's so busy, but what a privilege it is to be able to have 3 different sporting hobbies, right? The absolute insult of a woman who does nothing but paint plastic Viking helmets all day to tell me that she's so busy that she has to eat a protein bar in her car for lunch is fucking insulting. On a Sunday, I will stand in my kitchen for 2 to 3 hours and cook mine and my boyfriend's lunches for the week. I never having a protein bar for lunch or having to go to McDonald's or having to go and get a meal deal. Done. It's boxed. I set that time aside every single week without fail because I know if I don't do that, I'm not going to eat well or I'm not going to eat at all. And that's not optimal for what I need to do. So I do my 9 to 5. I train then from anywhere between an hour to 3 hours. It really just depends on what is on my plan for that week because, like I said, I got a coach that it changes every week. I also have my other sports I want to keep up with. I've got friends. I've got family. I also need to maintain my relationship. And do you know what I do? I just plan. Has there been times where I've been caught out and I've needed to eat something from a Tesco meal deal? Yeah, of course there is. It always can. We're not perfect, are we? But if you know that you're so busy that working training into your schedule has made you where you have to eat processed protein for your lunch, someone's going wrong. Sorry, but a chicken breast in the air fryer takes 20 minutes. Packet of rice, microwave 2 minutes. Shake it together in a fucking tub, eat that in your car. When you're showering in the morning, throw a chicken breast in the air fryer. It's not hard. Do you know what I mean? So then next thing is it's just a screenshot, a picture rather than a video. So I'll read it out to you. It's Anna. It looks like straight after this car lunch, and it's her laying in bed in the same clothes that she was at the gym in on her bed. Gross. It says on it, was supposed to be filming right now, but instead I'm listening to my body and resting. I've been moving a lot of fluid the last few days, and my body is telling me to take a break. Usually when this happens, it's actually a good sign the next day I will feel much better than average. Oh, sorry, better than average, because I don't know if you know, she's fucking illiterate. I speak like I'm illiterate, but at least I know the fucking difference between then and than. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell. First of all, it's really gross to get into your bed in clothes you've been to the gym in. I won't even sit on my bed in outside clothes, never mind clothes I've been to the gym in. But you're gross. You're actually gross. In terms of your body and resting, yeah, absolutely. If your body's telling you to rest, you need to rest. It is important. Rest is productive. It is. You can't just be back to back to back to back to back to back constantly because you will eventually burn out or hurt yourself or get yourself ill. And then you can't do anything. And then that's unproductive, However, I thought you were so fucking busy eating lunch in your car. And now you're coming home to lie in your bed in your gym clothes. You're fucking minging, mate. This is just a compilation of her October workouts. it's so obvious that one of her arms is weaker than the other. They really need to address that. What the fuck? Sorry, I got mate. Right, that's so funny. We all make silly faces in the gym, right? I am also a silly face maker, right? I'm very well aware that I'm a strange looking individual, right? But look at this, mate. Unreal. I guess she's just such a real girly pop that she has to show us the ugly side too. That's so funny. That's really giving me the laugh I needed right now. That's made my fucking day. That's so good. Today's gym fit, baby. We don't body shame on the Lot Lifts channel. We don't body shame on the Lot Lifts channel. We don't body shame on the Lot Lifts channel. We don't body shame on the Lot Lifts channel. Please, Anna, get clothes that fit, because you're making my mantra really difficult. Like, you're making my mantra difficult, mate. If you're not looking at the screen, you really need to look at the screen. Today's gym fit. I'm so glad you feel comfortable enough to put this on the internet, Anna. Confidence queen, ladies and gentlemen. She uses so much copyrighted music as well, so I'm gonna have to put some fucking uncopyrighted music over the top. We got Anna benching. Her bar path is a bit crazy. First rep was a bit funky. Oh, that was a bit funky at the top there as well. At Cybernetic Strongman played a sneaky trick on me today. He put a plate's worth of weight on the bar using smaller weights. My mind was playing tricks on me, so he made me think the weight was lighter than it was. This helped me get out of my head. I ended up doing one set of 6 at 135 pounds and then 2 sets of 6 at 140 pounds. All on a day my mind was telling me I was too weak to try. Lifting is so freaking mental. You have to believe you can to actually execute. If that's not a metaphor for life, I didn't know what is. Oh, it's like she waits till the end of the paragraph to say something that's so illiterate. What I will say, my issue here, right, is absolutely weight-based sports, but most sports are mental. For example, I'm also a football fan, if you weren't onto that. Like, I'm a Liverpool Football Club fan, if you couldn't tell. I've wore a couple of my jerseys in videos, but I'm an LFC fan. And for example, we've had a bad run so far. I don't want to talk about it. However, you can actually see on the pitch when we're conceding. We're conceding after the opposition are scoring, and that creates a mental, oh, we're lost anyway, you know? You see it in footy, can see it in sport of, oh, that's too heavy, I'm not going to be able to do that. And I get it as well. For me, I always find the next 10 of a lift really difficult. So I'll be able to do the 9 of the lift. So for example, I am working towards breaking my 70 kg clean and jerk in the next couple of weeks, right? I really want to get that before the end of the year. My current max clean and jerk is 68, right? But there's something in my brain that single kilo from 69 to 70 will cause something in my brain to go, you can't do that, because the front number starts like changes, right? Even though it'd be a kilo difference and I'm strong enough to do it, my brain goes, can't do that. So I understand this, right? This tricking by a coach has been done on me before. I've seen my friends have it done to them as well, and them not even realise I've done it to my friends before. They've done it to me before. It does work, right? Because it is all mental, right? But does this not challenge what you said the other week about how your arm gave up on you on the Atlas stone? So if you truly believe that you were strong enough to pick up that stone the other week, Anna, if you truly in your brain was like, I'm strong enough to do that, and your arm gave out on you, is it not the same that way round? So you're physically strong enough to do it, but your brain's saying you're not, but you can do it. Is it not the same the other way around? Your brain is saying you can do it. Do you see what I'm trying to get at? This disconnect between different aspects of herself is only when it benefits her. It's so strange. Girl, lift heavy. Oh, dude, I don't know why. So it's just various clips of Anna lifting. And it says, girl, lift heavy. That girl power fucking energy that some gym influencers go for, which personally it's not for me. I personally hate infantilizing myself and with other women and especially calling women girls and things like that. Like, we've already got this like girl explain and girl walk and girl this, girl that, and it creates an idea that women aren't capable of being intelligent or being strong. Girl lift heavy patronizes me personally. If it motivates you, or that's the kind of girl power stuff you like, sound. It's not for me personally. I would like to be treated as an equal in my sport and not be seen as a child that needs to be told, girl, lift heavy. Like, I don't need that. What I will say about this is that a lot of these lifts are bad. Her skull crushers are so unstable. So I know I said I wasn't going to cover main page stuff, but this one I had to. POV, I got veggies as a side instead of rice. We save a lot here. This is copyrighted and I don't want to get demonetized. So essentially, it's just a song going, skinny bitches go to the back, skinny bitches come to the front, implying that Anna is super skinny tiny. Yay. Me when I get broccoli at Nando's instead of the garlic bread and mashed potatoes. I just wanted to share that one personally because that one gave me a chuckle.
It's not a PR. If you have to say technically in front of it, it's not a PR.
Oh my god. I think the context of this clip is she was able to do a lift, but it wasn't quite technically correct or something like that. And she put a poll on this clip that says, if you say technically in front of it, is it a PR? And yes or no. There's different kinds of PRs, and sorry, I'm getting distracted by the bra. Please, Anna, get clothes that fit. Holy moly. There's different kinds of PRs, in my opinion. There is PRs of, oh my god, I moved that weight. It might not have been technically perfect, but I moved the weight in that where it needed to go. So that being like, for example, back in May or June, I got 68 keggers above my head, right? However, it was lockout. I got the 68 keggers above my head. It was there, but I locked it out. So it would have been a no lift in comp, but I can lift that weight. I can do 68 kilos. So for me, that was a weight PR. I was like, okay, I can now lift 68 kilos and put it above my head. Amazing. Now we refine and get it technically right. And then that would be a technical PR. There's also comp PRs, gym PRs. So a lift that I may PR in the gym, I may not be able to hit on a platform in comp because it's a different environment, the anxiety, the stress of the day, being in front of a crowd, etc. So what I hit in the gym may not actually be able to be performed on a platform because of lots of different aspects. But if I hit a number in the gym and then I hit a slightly smaller number on the platform, it may still be a PR because it might be the biggest number I've hit on a platform. Do you see what I'm saying? There's different kinds of PRs. That smug fucking face of yours there, Anna, with your little tiny kiddie space buns. Yeah, technically it could have been a weight PR. I don't know what the lift was. I don't know what the weight was. But if it was a heavier weight and it got to where it needed to go safely, then yeah, it was probably a PR. You just probably didn't get a technical PR.
I have a secret to tell you. All the girls know, Jeremiah knows, but you have to promise me you're not going to say anything to any of the other guys because it's not their business. But I'm a mommy.
Mommy? Mamacita. Mamacita.
There is no fucking way. There is no way that woman's she's wearing a t-shirt that says muscle mommy. The concept of lifting weights for 3 months now and thinking that you're a muscle mommy. Like, what do you mean? Dude, that's so good. That's so good. To those who aren't watching the screen, Anna's picking up a sandbag, I'm presuming this is. And she's got heavily chalked hands and she's put, why all the chalk? This bag is £130 and I'm carrying it back and forth in the gym. You chalk your hands and arms to keep the bag from slipping and help you grip. I also take my compression shirt off for this because it makes my arms slippy. These bags are awkward to lift and you need to grip to make it move. If you want to see more of my lifting, I have a lifting account at Viking Princess Lifts. 58 kilos. She's not incorrect. She's factually correct of why she has to use the chalk. Like, I chalk my hands. Yeah, you're not wrong, but who are you to tell us that? It's the gym influencing, trying to be a teacher, coach, fucking all-seeing eye of a hobby she's just started that really winds me up. She's not wrong.
I am trying straps at the gym today for the first time. We're gonna see how it improves my deadlift. So straps take the pressure off your grip so that you can just use your body to lift. I'm excited, because like you can see, they be beat up. I'm like, do I have enough chuck here? Anxiety is real.
The logo is going to go on your wrist like that.
Okay.
I'm going to reach in, grab it.
That's it? We're gonna do my best here. And whatever that is, it'll be.
Yep. All right, attack the rest of these. Come on. Yep. All right.
And that was a PR too.
Obviously the weight moved a little slow because I was in my head, but now I know 400 right around the corner.
I said this in my last video about Glitter and Lasers being a gym influencer, right? The concept of a 500-pound woman telling me how gym equipment works. You've been here a few days, girl. And just the way she words it isn't quite right either. I use straps, not very often. I tend to use straps more around accessory work, but for me, grip is really important because I need to be able to move the weight from the floor to my shoulders to above my head, and straps just reduce your mobility in that. So grip for me is very important. I don't really use them very often. I don't use straps very often, but it's the concept of a 500-pound woman telling me why straps are used. 400 pounds is right around the corner, something she also says. So that's her, I'm presuming, her deadlift, which would be 181 kilos. The issue is that it's not even, it's 0.8 of her body weight for a deadlift. So if you look on the screen, Anna is doing a lat pull down, and she's acting like it's very difficult. And then she lets go, and she does the same weight with one hand and yawns. Her lat pull down form's looking better. Says to me she watched my last video on it. Great form improvement, Anna. We're not fucking flinging ourselves back into the other room now. Amazing work. This means nothing. I know you're trying to make it out like you're dead big and strong. You're certainly fucking big by being able to do whatever this weight is with your one arm. But we don't know what the weight is. It could just be empty. It could just be you pulling the bar down. So you yawn and say, oh, this is so easy. What even is the weight? I don't, am I supposed to be fucking swooning about how fucking strong you are? But I can't even see what the weight is. So what does this mean? You've actually lost me. You've lost me.
Tempo work is like the worst thing in the gym. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you hold it, which sucks.
Very explosive. So this is her talking about tempo work. Caption says, still working on getting my knee 100% back to normal. Presuming she's had a knee issue somewhere. We're close. So we're doing lower weights done at very slow tempo, which I'm learning is way harder than just powering through like I usually do. I miss just doing raw power. I actually do a lot of tempo stuff. Tempos are great for a lot of different reasons, but they're mainly used to focus on technique. So you won't be able to squat what you usually do when tempoing because obviously you're making your muscles work in that lift for a greater time under tension. You're eliminating any sort of momentum that would come from you just going up and down using your raw power. Really is focusing on your technique, right? It also can build your strength because you're putting your muscles under that tension and you're not just using raw power, your momentum from moving. It is all down to the strength of your muscles, right? And they are very effective. I find especially pause back squats and pause front squats really, really useful. I find that they are what make me quite strong in those lifts, right? It's not just raw power that you would be using, Anna. You're using the momentum to move that. Oh my God. Strict press form really is not improving. She's still back bending to fuck. We need to improve some shoulder mobility here, in my opinion. She's back bending because she can't keep a straight bar path because she's not mobile enough. So she's having to compensate for not being able to push straight up because she's not got the shoulder mobility by doing that back bend to keep the straight bar path. Failed my final reps in my final set of bench today. My arms are sore, I feel off, and today wasn't my day. I'll keep showing up, and someday it'll be my day. I just have to be patient and do the work. So you know what? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We all fucking fail lifts, Anna. We all fail lifts, and especially as a woman, some days, depending on your sleep the night before, depending on how your nutrition is, because I know you like to pretend it doesn't matter, Anna, but nutrition does matter. How you slept the night before, your nutrition, your stress levels, your time of the month, etc., etc. All these things impact your training sessions, right? And yeah, this is how we should be. We should be saying, it's a bad day, whatever, we move on, not having car crash outs like we did last time. So I suppose that's a bit of a mental improvement. But I feel like she's always got to have an excuse when she fails something. My arms are sore, I feel off. Can you not just be like, I failed the lip, we'll go again next week? Like, why does there always have to be this grand fucking excuse about it? No one's expecting you to Eddie Hall the fucking gym up, mate. You've been doing this 3 months. It's okay to be new at something. I understand it's uncomfortable and frustrating to be new at something, especially when you're really into it and you want to just fucking go. I understand, because I was the same and I am the same, and you just have to accept that you're new at something and it's a learning curve and it's okay to be new at something. And part of doing a sport or doing a hobby isn't just getting to a final destination. Like, you're gonna go and do this competition, but that's not just the end of it. Like, there'll be another competition, there'll be new goals, there'll be, this is just an everlasting journey now. For until you stop, this just continues, and you will fail things. Especially the deeper into the sport you get, the longer you do it, the more frustrating failures will come along, because at the start of anyone's lifting journey or any gym journey, a newbie will find that they improve very quickly, or they can hit certain targets really quickly, because it's called newbie gains, right? Not every week is going to be a weight PR. We have to find the joy in the journey. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? Like, literally, what's the point? That's all I've got for you today. And to be honest, all I've got time for mentally, because if I have to watch any more lifting from Anna, I think I will lose my mind. Like I said, anything that you need to know is below. I have an Instagram now, so if you're interested in keeping up, I do spam on stories though. Sorry in advance. But if you're interested in keeping up with me personally and my lifting journey, that I post a lot about that on Instagram. I also have a TikTok, which is a little bit less frequent. I don't really post on there until I think there's something worth posting. On Instagram, I post a lot of like the training I'm doing. So if you're interested in that, that'll be over there. Other than that, have a lovely weekend, everyone, and I'll see you on the other side. Pow.